one of the things I'm trying to do in this world is create solutions to the many problems we now face. And instead of complaining about problems and not doing anything to make it better, I've just decided I'm going to do all I can to just look for the most logical solution and make it a reality and ask for any input from anybody else out there. So the next subject I'm going to be hitting is healthcare. And it's clearly a problem here in the United States. I want to look at a couple different ways we could fix it. The first problem I'm going to address is the way we go about medicine. Our fundamental way in which we do business is we always try to create a cure for everything. And that's always what we push for, is the cure, the cure, the cure. But we never address the cause and what is causing our illnesses and causing our ailments. And I think that would go a lot more to help people and help actually fix the problem. If instead of trying to put a band-aid on it or fix it once it arises, stop it from happening in the first place. It seems our diet and the chemicals we allow in and around our bodies are making us unhealthy on many levels. Our food system is broken, and fixing it would dramatically increase all our health as well. We are what we eat, and the stuff going into our bodies is not good. Addressing what's causing our illness is the only way to truly fix it. Stop the problem before it starts in the first place. But that doesn't make money for those that are trying to create cures, so that's not pushed for as much. If you look, that's just how medicine and everything works. Pharmaceutical companies usually come in and say, hey, you're doing this, it's causing that. We're going to give you this pill that will just be great, and you can keep doing all the terrible things you want to do. Just pay us money. And then, lo and behold, that causes a side effect, which causes you to need them to pay more money, and which causes a side effect, which causes you to pay more money to them. And it's a never-ending cycle when you could just address the cause in the first place and make it all stop and make it all truly healthy and just work from a natural aspect. And this obviously isn't something that you can do with every illness, but you can do with a lot. And you can always try and find a natural cure for many of the things that ail us, and a natural way to stop it in the beginning. And I think that's just what we need to focus on. Focus on the cause of what's really making us sick and not the cure. And I think we'll be able to solve a lot of problems. So that's the first aspect. The second aspect is that we charge whatever we want, and there's a monopoly on medical and the service that you're going to need most in this world. And just imagine that the free market was no longer in existence for other services. Right now, the government has absolute control of the healthcare system, so they can charge whatever they want. So the problem is the government has killed the free market. What do I mean by that? I mean that if McDonald's charged $1,000 for a cheeseburger, the free market dictates that Wendy's across the street would charge $5 and McDonald's would go out of business. But what the government has done is, in said scenario, they've regulated it to where you can only get food from McDonald's and no one else, and then you have to now pay McDonald's $1,000 a cheeseburger, and there's no other option. And that is why the medical system is failing so bad, is because they abuse it and charge outlandish prices, and we don't have any choice but to pay it. So the solution, you ask, how do we overcome this, would be to let the free market reign and take the brakes off. I know it sounds crazy, but you can't regulate humans helping humans. And that's what they've done, is they've taken our ability to help one another away and made it all about monetary gain. And if we go to the hospital, we know doctors are just shuffling us through and trying to get us through in and out as fast as they can. And they stay up for 30 hours straight. And it's all about money, 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 and in and out. And it's not about helping. And when in reality, there's a lot of people out there that want to help in the world, but they can't. Because of they have to have a degree, or they have to have all this other government regulatory stuff. And if we just realize that this is a dangerous world and that sometimes we need help and we don't have any other options, and just give us the freedom to do what we want, and that would be the answer. Freedom would be the answer, because then you would create a free market, and there would be competitive prices and competitive places where people could go, and they would have the free will to choose somebody that may not be a hospital or anything like that, who may just be an individual in their house or something. But at the end of it, that's our free will to choose, and it's going to lower the cost, and it will help people in the end. And it's until somebody has been harmed, there is no victim, so there should be no crime. And that's the way we should just play it. If people want to help people, let them do it. And as long as they don't hurt anybody, it should be our free choice. And if somebody's been harmed, then seek justice. And that's the answer to all of this. I know it sounds outlandish, but play it out. I mean, if you force us to pay a tax right now, which is that's the politicians' answer, is to put it in a tax, and then that way they can get their grubby little fingers all over it and be a middleman. And we're still being forced to pay outlandish prices, and it doesn't solve anything. That's like the government coming in and forcing us to pay $1,000 for a cheeseburger from Walmart and saying, no, you can't get one from Wendy's because we really, Walmart gives us money and we like what Walmart does, and we're just going to keep this little cycle going where we all just basically rob you guys. And so that is the alternative. As much as it sounds as far from the norm and a little different, but freedom is always the answer, and the free market is always the answer, because it will always level itself out, and the best ideas will always win. And it's a competitive market, and somebody's always going to win in a free market. And as long as you don't regulate it, it will fix itself. But that's what the government does, is that now that somebody's won in the free market and had good ideas, they've regulated it to where there's no other free alternatives or no other alternatives that you can have. And that's what they've done in almost everything, is that there's been a winner and they've monopolized it and made laws to where this monopoly winner gets to keep his ways and doesn't allow freedom in the free market to give alternative options. And it's just the same copy and paste thing they do with everything. But that's the biggest problem in Medicare, or the healthcare system and what we're facing. So, like I said, as crazy as it sounds, take the brakes off and let the free market go and address the cause, and don't just look for the cure. Like I said, searching for the cure doesn't address what's causing it in the first place. And if you stop it in the beginning, you won't have a problem at all. But the medical system doesn't like that, because it makes money off of all of us. And if you got to think that anytime you introduce anything into your body, our bodies are designed to adapt and overcome. And so when you introduce a medicine, I don't care if it's Tylenol, if it's anything, it doesn't even have to be medicine. It can be something that we eat or ingest. Whatever we do, our body is going to regulate and deal with it. If we eat too much salt or whatever, our body has things inside that will counteract it. I mean, even with sugar and insulin, our whole body runs off of what we put into it. And so if you put a medication into it, your body is going to become dependent on that medication and not work as hard. So whatever you give for yourself for medicine, you're making the ailment worse. And I know some people have to have medicine out there, but if we can push through, address what's causing it, fix the cause, and push through and stay and don't take medicine, that is what will get us truly healthy. And I know it's a hard thing to achieve, but that's what will fix all the problems, instead of just putting a Band-Aid on it and a pill and making things worse and worse and worse. So I know it's different. I know it's a complete different mindset from what we're taught and what we're told, but the people that are running everything are making money off of us, and we have to look around and realize, hey, these people are manipulating us, and there's a reason why they're doing this, and there's a reason why this is all happening, and we just got to find out our own alternatives and do what we can for the most logical solution. So, like I said, I got an idea to stand up and put the local community first. Basically secede from the federal government and do our own thing, which would include having doctors in this state of mind right here. We would just need a sheriff that would have to enforce this state of mind and allow things like this to happen. So we need a very freedom-oriented sheriff, and hopefully we get one. Thanks everybody for keeping along, and appreciate y'all. And if anybody else has any other ideas that logically make sense, please play it out. Let's do it. I'd like to sit down and discuss openly solutions with anyone out there. Anybody from across the table that doesn't believe the same as me, that's fine. I'll gladly discuss this, and we can just discuss logic. I'll peacefully do it all day, every day. I have a forum set up to where we can even do it in a peaceful manner. My number's 573-286-8316. Thank you all for watching, and appreciate y'all. Have a great day.